What is up, YouTube? Dots Gaming here, and today I'm bringing you guys my Magicka Warden PvP build for the Elder Scrolls Online Wrathstone patch, the Blizzard. So I know I confused a lot of people here on YouTube when I updated the Blizzard build on my website. You guys saw a completely different build than what I posted from Merkmeyer, and that is because I completely took the build in a different direction. Last patch, I basically played my Magden like the more traditional one, where you burst with Shulks, you use Clench, you guys know how it goes. But honestly, I prefer the full Frost style, the full Frost AoE control gameplay. That's really how I prefer to play my Magden, and so I wanted to go back to that playstyle and just really try to make as good of a build for that playstyle as I physically could, and I'm really happy with what I came up with today. So we have that full Frosty boy AoE lockdown control gameplay for you guys today. So if you're looking for that traditional burst Magden, this isn't going to be for you, but if you want to be a full Frost Magicka Warden, this is going to be the build for you. I've been really enjoying it this patch. The AoE damage and the AoE control that this build offers is absolutely insane. You're going to see at on the BG footage at the end of this video, you can just wipe entire groups by yourself with the amount of AoE damage that this build provides. Like, just everything is dealing AoE around you. It's just incredibly good. You have so much control, and the build is also really tanky and can withstand a lot of punishment. So it's been what I've been enjoying for Wrathstone. It's been what I've really been liking. So hopefully you guys enjoy it just as much as I do. But before we get into the build, I am going to, of course, make my disclaimer that this is just what I like, what I use, and what works for me. If you guys have a different preference, like to play your Warden in a different way, go ahead and make those changes and make those adjustments. This is just what I like, what I use, and what I have found effective for how I play ESO. So moving right into the build, though, enough of me with the intro. We are starting off with, of course, 2 pieces of Ice Heart. You can't have a Frosty Boy build without Ice Heart. Ice Heart gives us a spell crit on the one piece, and then when we deal critical damage, we have 20% chance to get a damage shield that absorbs damage for 6 seconds, and then while that holds, we deal frost damage to all enemies within 5 meters every second, and this can occur every 6 seconds. It's really just a perfect set for the full Frost gameplay. Besides the fact that it's like one of the only sets that really truly fits in the aesthetic for our monster set, it actually works perfectly well for the Magicka Warden playstyle. You know, with Northern Storm / Permafrost, we are the center of our damage as well anyway, so this just gives us more AoE damage around us. It gives us a really, really nice damage shield every 6 seconds. This is actually a really good shield, so getting that every 6 seconds, because we pretty much will have 100% uptime on this for how much we crit. It's awesome to get that nice damage shield every 6 seconds. It really helps the overall tankiness of the build. And like I said, the frost damage is really nice to provide more AoE frost damage and play into the build's strengths. Now, our main damage set is 5 pieces of Necro. I'm just going to say Necro because 50% of people say it Necropotence. The other 50% say Necropotence. I'll get made fun of and annoyed in the comment section no matter how I choose to say it, so we're just going to call it Necro. But Necro is really, really good because it provides us a crap ton of maximum magicka, and it is, in my opinion, one of the best damaging sets for Magicka Warden, because with just the blue Betty up, we are sitting at 40,000 plus maximum magicka, and it is where the majority of our damage comes from. So Necro really just provides us a huge boost to our maximum magicka, which gives us a really, really nice damage increase. It's just such a good set, and I can't recommend it enough, and I pretty much run it on all of my Warden builds because of how effective it is with the class and with Blue Betty. Now, my main defensive set on this build is going to be Fortified Brass. Get a line of maximum health, a line of physical resistance, a line of spell resistance, and then a massive boost to our physical and spell resistance for our 5-piece. This has been a really effective addition to the build and gives us a ton of tankability. This just basically puts us at resistance cap with our Major Resolve and Ward really close to resistance cap. We're a little bit off, but it puts us really close to it. So this is just a really, really great gear set. Gives us a ton of resistances, just makes us straight up tanky. So Necro is going to provide our damage, Brass is going to make us tanky, our Race is going to give us sustain, and then Ice Heart kind of gives us a little bit of hybrid of damage and tank ability. So Brass is just a really good option. I do believe that Brass is going to be more effective in no CP than it is in CP, and I primarily do play my Magicka Warden in Battlegrounds, which is part of the reason why I used Fortified Brass over something like Pariah, which will be a little bit more effective in CP PvP. So gonna kind of have to depend based off of what PvP you prefer the most. If you do a lot of BGs, I would definitely recommend going with Fortified Brass. If you play way more Cyrodiil, Pariah might be something that you want to use in this slot instead. Fortified Brass will still be good for Cyrodiil, but Pariah might be a little bit better. And, you know, if you do a hybrid of both, I'd say kind of just depends on your preference. But me, I went with Brass for this build. Really, really like and enjoy it. So that is what I chose to run. In terms of our breakdowns of traits and everything, we are running full Impen. We want the big 3k crit resist to make us super, super tanky. And we are running tri-stat glyphs on everything. Magicka Wardens love tri-stat glyphs, so I know the enchants of this build are going to be a little expensive, but we are running prismatics on every single piece. We also have 2 arcane, 1 protective for the jewelry, and we are running 2 spell damage and 1 Magicka recovery. We also have a sharpened fortified brass ice staff on the front bar with an absorb Magicka enchant, as well as an infused weapon and spell damage enchant with a fortified brass ice staff on the back bar. So because we do run elemental blockade, that will basically keep the enchant on our back bar with 100% uptime. So we have an infused weapon and spell damage enchant, because I know, although we do have 40k max with Magicka, our spell damage is only 1921, so it's not like the lowest, but it's not as high as it could be. So this really, really helps make up for that. Really helps make up for that. We will basically have a 100% uptime on this enchant with it being infused and with using elemental blockade. So it gives us a ton of spell damage that we are missing from, some areas of our kit. Really makes up for that. And then this absorb Magicka enchant is very, very important for just maintaining our sustain, which I will talk about a little bit during the stats section. And I did go with Sharpened over Nirnhoned. Sharpened, I believe, gives more effective damage. The build is already super tanky, so Sharpened will give us more damage than Nirnhoned. So that is why I went with that. If you want a little bit less damage and you want more healing, then in that case, Nirnhoned will be good. But if you just want the pure raw DPS, then Sharpened here is going to be a little bit better. I did the math behind it on the UESP calculator, and Sharpened ended up kind of beating out Nirnhoned a bit. So that is why I went with it. In terms of our skills, and I know some people are instantly triggered, but don't worry, I will talk about an alternative. We are using Force Pulse, again, Frosty Boy, so we have to run Force Pulse. We do 3 blasts, flame damage, frost damage, and shock damage. And then what's good about this is up to 2 nearby enemies will take more magic damage if they're already afflicted with burning, chilled, or concussed, which they will be very, very easily because of all the frost damage we are running and how much frost AoE we have. So with all the frost AoE that's going to be on the ground from our area of effect fields, from permafrost, you start force pulsing people, you're going to be cleaving like 3 people with a ton of damage. So you're able to deal a lot of area of effect damage with this skill. Also, we are dealing 3 instances of damage or up to potentially 5 at once, and with these crit, they'll help play an Ice Heart. It's just a really good skill for the spammable for the build. I am using Arctic Blast as my stun. It gives us a 15% heal instantly and an additional 10% over 10 seconds. I know I'm outside of PvP, and that will be cut when I go into PvP, and then that will stun the enemy for 3 seconds. I know some people hate Arctic Blast with a burning passion. I know some people hate the skill. So if you do hate Arctic Blast, I would absolutely recommend using Accelerating Drain. Accelerating Drain, the main reason you're going to use it is it deals damage, restores health every second for 3 seconds. But we don't care about that. Accelerating Drain, the reason it's good is that when you activate the drain, the enemy is stunned for 3 seconds. And when the drain ends, even if you cancel it yourself, you gain Minor Expedition. So basically what you can do is you can basically kind of block cancel Accelerating Drain. So you can use Accelerating Drain and then block, and it will basically stun the enemy, take you out of the channel, and then give you the Minor Expedition. And the stun is not tied to the drain holding the entire time. It's only tied to the drain being activated. So you can block cancel it and basically keep yourself out of it. So you just do accelerating drain and then instantly hit block. So for your stuns, I would use either accelerating drain or Arctic Blast based on your preferences. People like or dislike them for various reasons. Use what you prefer. All right, I'm not going to get in the whole debate on it here. Just use what you prefer and use what you like. We're also using Living Trellis. Living Trellis is just an absolutely amazing heal. It gives us a heal every time we take damage per second. And then if we overcast this or when the vines expire, we get a huge influx of healing. It's just an incredibly good skill. One of the best healing skills in the Magicka Warden kit for PvP. I absolutely recommend running it. Again, like I said, if you want to maximize this heal, do run a Nerd Hone front bar, but do keep in mind that your effective damage will be lower. But you will get a little bit more out of this heal. But still, even with a sharpened front bar, this heal still heals for a great amount. We, of course, are running Bird of Prey. This is our major expedition. Little expensive in my opinion, could use a cost reduction, but Bird of Prey is going to be our major expedition buff, so you use this whenever you need to really get around. But also what's really, really nice is that this gives us minor berserk, increasing our damage done by 8%. So just a nice flat 8% damage increase on our front bar. We're also running Inner Light. Inner Light combos super well with Necro. Gives us an additional 7% additional maximum magicka, 5% from the skill. And we get, if I can find my Mage's Guild, we get an additional 2% from our magicka controller passive. So Inner Light is an incredibly good skill for maximizing our max magicka. And Major Prophecy gives us it's just a huge effective damage increase. Also plays into Ice Heart, gives us more Ice Heart procs, more damage with more crits. It's just an incredibly good skill. We are running Permafrost. I'm using Permafrost instead of Northern Storm. Northern Storm is great for the effective damage that it brings, but boy, there's nothing like just stunning everyone around you with Permafrost. It's just the amount of control that this skill gives is just insane. Like, I loved using Northern Storm, but my god, did I miss Permafrost. The amount of damage this thing deals is already great. We got a 70% snare, major protection, and then you can just stun everybody around you with this skill. It's just so good. So you can just control a massive pack of people with Permafrost, and in my opinion, I've been liking this for this build way more than I've been liking Northern Storm. So I definitely recommend using Permafrost. On our back bar, we of course have Blockade of Frost. Slam your staff down to create an ice barrier in front of you, dealing frost damage to enemies, reducing movement speed by 60%. And when enemies are chilled, which they will be a lot, because as you can see, we run quite a bit of frost damage. They are immobilized for 4 seconds, so it's just a way for us to control people in front of us. It also procs our weapon damage enchant. Just a very, very good skill. We're also using Winter's Revenge, which is just another frost AoE. Different snare, different damage. So, you know, it's just wall, Winter's Revenge. That is a lot of snares and a lot of damage. And then you could just sit there and pepper them with the Force Pulses. It's just a lot of control. A lot of control. It's an incredibly good skill. We have Blue Betty. Blue Betty gives us a good bit of Magicka Restoration. It's super, super good. It gives us Major Sorcery, increasing our damage by 20%. And when the Netch is summoned, it removes one negative effect from you. That means anytime it's summoned. So if you have, like, for example, right, if you have a snare on you, you can just cast Netch and just keep casting Netch, and it'll cleanse. It'll cleanse that snare off you, and you'll also get some little baby heals from it, because every single time a animal is, I believe it is not, like, every time it's unsummoned, I guess. There you go. Yeah, unsummoned. You restore 1310 health. So you're going to get a little bit of healing too, so you can use this as kind of like a little mini like pseudo purge to heal some effects off you if you want to. So I would definitely recommend keeping that in mind. But the Blue Betty is just a loaded skill. It's just super, super good. That's what I'm trying to get at there. We also have Ice Fortress, which gives us Major Resolve and Major Ward, increasing our physical and spell resist by 5280 for 24 seconds. But the big part of this is that we get Minor Protection, reducing our damage taken by 8% for 24 seconds. Super, super good skill. Absolutely amazing for our defenses. Now, this is our flex spot. This is our flex spot. For BGs, I usually will run Shimmering Shield. So spin a shield of ice around you, absorbing up to 32,000 damage from 3 projectiles. Each time you absorb a projectile, you restore 589 magicka, and you, most importantly, gain major heroism for 6 seconds, granting 3 ultimate every 1.5 seconds. I've had a lot of people ask me, Dots, why don't you run Harness Magicka and BGs? Right now, we are in a meta where Snipe and Flame Clench are incredibly... they're both potent, and there's like a lot of it. You see them very frequently. So while, yes, Shimmering Shield is not going to really do anything against like a Stamplar beating on you in your face, there's so much projectile damage in the game right now that you will get a ton of use out of Shimmering Shield, and it not only gives you that Magicka Restoration, which is super, super nice, and yes, Harness gives you Magicka Restoration too, but so does this, but the major heroism is going to make it so that you can reliably get your permafrost up and not have to wait 100,000 years for them, and so you'll be able to get them up more often with Shimmering Shield. Now, if you are in open world, I would recommend being a vampire and using Elusive Mist. Elusive Mist is going to give you a ton of mobility open world and allow you to move around the field. I do recommend it for open world. But for BGs, there is not nearly as much space, so you don't necessarily need the Mist form in my opinion. So that's why I will normally run Shimmering Shield instead. Our back bar ult is Healing Thicket, so this just gives you a ton of healing. It's just really cheap ultimate, a ton of healing. There's really not much to say about it. That's what it's for. It's a ton of healing. So I use this if I'm taking a lot of heat and I need healing right now. I just pop my Healing Thicket and I'm ready to party. So in terms of our other stuff, we are running the Apprentice Mundus Stone to boost up our spell damage as much as we can because we need to. And we are using the Witch Mother's Potent Brew Food for Magicka Recovery, Maximum Magicka, and Maximum Health. We do have 12.5k max stam, which is like just enough. It is like just enough. So we're able to run Witch Mothers because we are running all of the Tri-Stack glyphs. Plus, I really do feel like we need Witch Mothers for the Magicka Recovery. So that is why I am running that buff food. In terms of potions, I do usually run Tri-Stat Pots. I love Tri-Stat Pots for Magdon. But now let's move into stats. So our maximum Magicka is actually 40k. It's not 36. You will literally have your Betty up 100% of the time. So your maximum Magicka is 40k. We are sitting at, in Cyrodiil, we are at about 25k maximum health. We have 12.5k max stam, 1741 maximum, 1741 Magicka Recovery. I will come back to that. 1921 spell damage, which of course is going to get hugely buffed by our back bar enchant. We have 42.6% spell critical. Unbuffed, we have 25.8k spell resist and 24.3k physical resist with 3k crit resist. Now, the Magicka Recovery. I'm going to touch on this because I've gotten some questions about it inside of Discord. In CP PvP, this is enough recovery. This build's recovery for Battlegrounds is very borderline. I just want to warn you guys in advance that the build for BGs has borderline okay recovery. Okay, like when you guys see the clips, you will see me. I will run out of maximum Magicka a couple times, and you will see me heavy attack pretty frequently. Okay, I don't mind heavy attacking in this build. I really, really don't. It gives me a damage shield too with the frost heavy attacks. I really don't mind it. If you are struggling with the Magicka Recovery, I would recommend, adjusting your jewelry enchants as needed. Maybe turn this Magicka Recovery glyph into a cost reduction glyph. That is also something you can do. But I really haven't had much of an issue with the Magicka Recovery. Again, it is borderline. I know I've had some people that are newer to Magdon complain to me about the Magicka Recovery. They say it's way too low. But for me, I'm fine with it. I don't really have much of an issue with it. Again, I think if you just weave in a heavy attack every now and then, you will be perfectly okay. Just keep that in mind when you play the build that you are going to need to weave in some heavy attacks every now and then. And if you don't want to, you're going to probably want to get a little bit more Magicka Recovery than 1741. I also just realized I didn't go over the gear weights. We are using a 5-1-1. 1 medium, 1 heavy, 5 light. In terms of our race, we are Bretons. Bretons offer baller amounts of Magicka sustain this patch because we have 7% reduction of our on Magicka cost of skills, and we also have Magicka Recovery increased by 100 just in spite of spell attunement. We also get an insane amount of spell resist as well as maximum Magicka. So Breton is, in my opinion, the best race for this build. Argonian could also work, but I really, really just have been loving Breton. In terms of our CP, let me actually make sure I have the right CP on, and I do. Perfect. We have 15 points in a Bless, gives us a little bit of boost to healing. 56 in an Elfborn because you have really high crit. 75 in an Elemental Expert. 45 in a Spell Erosion for the big boy spell penetration. We don't have Major Breach, as you can see. So I want to go as heavy into my Spell Erosion as possible. It's also part of the reason why I went Sharpened. We have 56 in a Master at Arms and 23 in a Thaumaturge because we do run all these ground dots. I did feel that dipping in a Thaumaturge for this build would be very good. 56 in Ironclad, 53 into Resistant, 37 into Thick Skinned, 43 into Hardy, 37 into Elemental Defender, 29 into Light Armor Focus, and we have 15 into Quick Recovery. 29 into Sprinter. We do a fair bit of sprinting in this build, so I did go 29 in Sprinter. 56 into Warlord, 75 into Arcanist, 66 into Tumbling, and 44 into Shadow Ward. If you do play a lot of CP, though, and you feel that, like, okay, Dots, I'm really not sprinting that much, I'm just straight up using Mist Form, these points are kind of, like, not needed, I would probably take the points out of Sprinter and instead put them into maybe Tenacity, maybe you could put some points into Siphoner, up Warlord a little bit, but you could definitely move these points around these 29 as needed, but the rest of these I pretty much really like where they are for how I play, but the green CP especially is incredibly customizable. In terms of the general play style for this build, it's really not overly complex. It's pretty straightforward. So you want to maintain Ice Fortress, you want to maintain Blue Betty, especially Blue Betty. Blue Betty is important for your maintenance because of the fact that it is not only your Major Prophecy buff, but it enables your 5th piece on Necro. So without your Betty up, you're losing out on a lot of freaking damage. So make sure that you have this up at all times. So this, you have Ice Fortress, maintain Winter's Revenge on the ground, maintain Elemental Blockade. Those are your big 4 maintenances. Your back bar is literally all maintenance. All maintenance. You want to maintain this stuff on the opponents you're fighting at all times. Then you're pretty much going to want to use Arctic Blast or Accelerated Drain to stun your opponents, and then just pepper them with Light Attack Force Pulses. Light Attack Force Pulses every now and then. Toss in a big heavy. You'll get the Shield Force Pulse. Use Bird of Prey as you need to get away. Use Living Trellis whenever you're taking a lot of heat to give yourself some good healing. Whenever you see projectiles coming in, you want to use Shimmering Shield, toss that up. But your big combo that you're going to want to use to take down big groups of enemies, obviously, buffs up. You want to go in, Blockade, Winter's Revenge, Perma. Look, all this right here is just Striga Bam, Force Pulse. All of that right there, that is an incredible amount of just frost damage, dot damage, AoE pressure. Like, between you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Ice Heart. You have 5 different AoEs going off at the exact same time, hitting everybody around you. You're going to be dealing a lot of area of effect damage, and you're going to see that in the clip after this video. And then obviously just use Inner Light if someone's stealth near you. That's pretty obvious. And then use Thicket if you need healing in a pinch. But that's pretty much it, though, guys. That is the new Blizzard build. I feel like the name is way more fitting to the build now, too. But I hope you guys enjoyed this build video. This is how I've been enjoying to play my Magden and Wrathstone. I've been having a lot of fun with it, so hopefully you guys enjoy it as much as I do. If you guys like this build video, I would appreciate if you smacked a like on it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And for more great Elder Scrolls Online content, I'd appreciate if you hit that sub button as well as hit the bell to keep notifications on. And if you guys have enjoyed my videos, I would appreciate if you checked out my Patreon, patreon.com/dotsgaming. You could help support the YouTube channel, the live stream, and the website for as little as $1 a month. So you can go check that out to get some awesome perks while supporting the channel. So thank you all so much for stopping by today. I very much appreciate it. Enjoy the gameplay footage. Let me know what you guys think about it. And I'll see you guys next time. As always, I'm Dots Gaming. I'll see y'all in the next one. But I don't know. I've been looking at it, and I've been like, you know what? I really want to try it. But real quick, Agritron coming in with the big Prime sub. Thank you, man. I appreciate that very much. Guys, let's see some hype for him in the chat. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it so much. All right, let's get these frost fields down and start hacking away on people. Oh man, that guy's fucking thing will rip people apart. Where do you think you might be going, guy? Nowhere, dude. Nowhere. Lay down our frost fields here. Oh my god, my untaunted procs because of my heavy attacks. Can't get on with stamp classes sprint everywhere. It was nice to be able to have the stamp to sprint though. I want to see if I can build up my ult and shake these guys out of mid. I mean, they're not really doing anything though. They're kind of just staying here. So I mean, I'll just sit here and build up my. Oh, this guy's taking my flag. Hold up. That's where I draw the line. That's where I draw the line. All right, here we go. We're gonna go in with the big ult here. Come on, team, I need support. Jeez, dude, come on. I think these three guys are legit just like sitting in the middle. Like not really doing anything. Jeez, dude. All right. Well, I'm not just gonna let purple take my flag. There we go. Not today, buddy. Not when you catch up and have nothing in the tank to smack them with. Well, that's why you got to either use a gap closer or have some form of major expedition. Hey, is your mag sort guide still up to date on the website, or does something major happen to it with the recent update? All builds say at the top whether or not it's updated for the current patch or not. All builds will tell you at the top. So if your build at the top says Merkmeyer, then it's not updated yet. If it says Wrathstone, then it's updated. A little reading goes a long way. Alrighty. One green guy broke off from the pack. But we're gonna go kill him. Oh no, the whole green team. Okay. They're just gonna move as a ball around, it seems. Oh, I wish I had my fucking ult, dude. Oh, we almost have it. Oh, we got it. Got a lot of ults here, dude. Oh, I have no stamina CC breakdown. Okay, come here, guy. Oh, ow. Ow, ow, ow. Purge this off. Oh my god, this green guy's attacking me too. Oh no! Oh, we're alive! No, we're still alive. We're still alive. We're still alive. Oh, no way! No fucking way, dude! Oh, we held on! Get the fuck out of here, man! Yes, let's go! Oh, let's go. Veneficus is getting updated soon. He's gonna send me the update for that tomorrow. He's gonna send me the update for that tomorrow. He's gonna send me the update for that tomorrow. That's only updated for Murkmire, not updated for Wrathstone yet. Because remember, I don't write every build on the website. It depends on who's the writer. So that one was written by somebody else. So I have to wait for him to send me the update. What do I main? At the moment, my main is a Magicka. How are we doing this game? We're 9-0, dude. We're chilling. This is a good game for footage, man. I was like, I need a game to get me footage. Here we go. Oh, a purple boy in the middle. Get a nice heavy attack up here. We're gonna lay down our frost fields here and go super ham. Here we go. In we go. Oh, he's got getting stunned, get stunned. Let's go. Goodbye. Is this guy really gonna hard cast frags in my face? What are you doing, dude? What are you doing, dude? What are you doing, dude? Magicka video today was sick. Thank you, man. Yeah, that was one of my favorite games from last week. It was a nice high MMR game. Nice high MMR game. With a really good performance. Just laying down the AoE, dude. The AoE pressure. Look at him go, boys! All right, let's lay this down. Frickin' good game, dude. Hell yeah. Oh my god, dude, I did so much damage. 1.3 million. Stick it up on the YouTube, dude. First game of the night. GG, dude. GG. Stick it up on the YouTube. Let's go.